Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alicia. I post new tutorials every Thursday, primarily on tumblers. I also do reviews. I do other things, other projects like pens or badge reels and mason jars and, some other miscellaneous stuff. So when you're done watching this video, go ahead and jump back on and check out some of the other things I've done. So this week I am working on 2 tumblers and I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do patina. So patina is, in essence, I guess, just, the effort to make something look older using like greens and browns and golds coating. There's different ways to do it. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do it in this video. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So as always, I prep my cup by sanding it, wiping it with 91% alcohol, and then usually I spray paint. But in this case, this is the first way I'm doing the patina. I am using this acrylic paint, and this it's called Espresso. It's Deco Art brand. And I am painting this tumbler with, I'm giving it a nice good coat of this brown color. And I'm just going to go all the way around, get it on fairly thick. And so dry time varies depending on the temperature of your room. I did, cheat and speed it up by putting a heat gun on it or a blow dryer. You can put a blow dryer on there, speed it up when it's dry to the touch, go in with coat number 2. And so the second coat gave me the perfect coverage. So I just did that on hyperspeed for you. And then after this dries, I'm going to go in with my chip brush, a 1-inch chip brush with this greenish color. And so the name of this greenish color is Bahama Blue. That's it, Bahama Blue. And it came in this pack, and I am putting a picture above. It came in this pack actually labeled patina. So it's meant to do this. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my chip brush and I'm just going over the brown with it. I don't want to cover it completely. I'm doing it sporadically. I'm kind of dry brushing some of it, if you will, and just spreading it on all over in no particular pattern. I'm just putting it on. And so this is the thing, this is a matter of what you like. So I say this a lot, eyeball something and just do it. And when you get to a point where you like it, then you move forward with whatever next steps you're going to get into. So, I liked it where it was at this point. And so now I came in with this goldish color, and I went and I was putting other spots. Now the gold went on a little bit thinner than the green did, so I will be coming back over this. But so again, I'm just doing some random spots, putting it over the green, putting it over the brown. And I didn't want to speed through this process, meaning skip through it, because I want you to see the process and why it looks the way it does. So here I am coming through with my second coat. So I let that dry. I don't know how long. Like, you can again speed it up with your hairdryer or heat gun, but your dry times are going to vary if you're going to let it sit, depending on humidity and room temperature. So anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. I mean, it could only take 15 minutes depending on how thick or thin your coats are too. So there's lots of reasons why, something takes as long as it is. So, when people squawk over, well, you didn't tell me how long it took to, to dry. You can't. It's because everybody's, the way everybody handles the paint and puts it on the cup is different. So you're going to have you may have some thinner spots or thicker spots. And again, room temperature, your room could be really warm or it could be really cool. It could have a lot of humidity or it could be very dry. So you're just going to check on it, basically. And it's going to dry when it's dry. Most cups will be dry within, an hour or 2 and ready for you to work on it. So I'm just going around this cup, and, I did this coppery bronzy color. Sorry. I went in again with some of the green, and I play around with the green and the brown, and I just keep going around the cup until I get the look that I want. Because, sometimes, for me, if it was too clumpy, I didn't want it to be too clumpy, so I kind of broke it up with, bringing colors back in. You could take also, if you wanted to, and I didn't try that on this, and I've seen other people do it, you could also take a very fine sandpaper grit and go over it a little bit to kind of distress it even more. It's completely up to you. Again, I'm just kind of giving you the basics here. You know, the idea of, you know, how to apply the paint. And so I'm taking that dark brown espresso color with a chip brush and I'm just kind of patting some spots, kind of like almost like dirt spots, if you will. And just, again, random. There's no particular, you know, rhyme or reason. You do it until you like it. You don't have to do this step. And if you like it, you can do less or you can do more. So, you know, it's kind of hard when you're working on stuff like this because, again, it's a matter of personal preference or preference of a customer or client as to what they want. All right, so I go in again with my gold or I'm sorry, I keep saying gold. It's like this bronzy color. And I just want to brighten some spots up a little bit because they, you know, it goes on and it was like kind of smeary. So if you want a richer looking bronze color, then you're going to just go in and just layer it until you have the color saturation that you want. So that is really it for this, just going around and doing little touch-ups. And I think the worst thing is just knowing when to stop. So, all right, so this is dry. It's been drying for a couple of hours. I'm going to go in with 20 mLs of my epoxy. I am using a fast set epoxy. You do not have to use a fast set epoxy. You can use your regular epoxy. It's completely up to you depending on time and how quickly you want to move through this cup. So, but in 2 hours, actually in 3 to 4 hours, this is going to be dry enough to work on. And so my next step is going to be apply the decal once this is drying for 4 hours. And so I did not show you that part, and I am so sorry, guys. Like, sometimes I drop the ball on my videos, but really it's just a sticker. It's a sticker that I purchased from my group president. So this is another card group that I belong to called Chicks with Power. And the owner, Trisha, who this cup is for, she doesn't know it, it's a surprise. She made up her own logo and she had a company print stickers up. And so I bought a couple of them. So once this is cured, I am gonna just put it on. It's a sticker, like literally just place it on the cup. So while that is drying, while that is curing, I'm gonna go in and here's a little trick. So I wanted her name to be really as close to the color of that bronze as possible. And so I don't have vinyl that color. So what I did was I took a matte white Oracle 651 vinyl and I gave it a light sand with a fine grip sandpaper, and then I sprayed it with this bronzy color spray paint I had. And so I went in with one light coat, then I went in with another light coat. And so now I'm going to go ahead and weed it. So don't weed until after you're done spraying it and it's dried. And it's been drying for a couple hours. This metallic spray paint dries pretty quick. So I let it probably go a little bit longer than I had to, but I got sidetracked. And so now I'm coming in to weed this. And so weeding this is a little bit tricky though, because the paint does compromise the vinyl a little bit and it makes it kind of almost stretchy, if you will. So you have to be ginger with this, and I wouldn't do this on something with really small lettering. So like this is fairly big lettering and it gave me some problems. So I would definitely not do this with anything, and that's just personally. You can do whatever you want to do, but I'm just telling you what I came across. So I loved how it looked to do it this way. I would certainly do it again. And I've seen this done before. I think the first person I saw do this was Jessica Flynn of Flynn Sisters Boutique. And she showed people sanding down spray and spray painting vinyl. So I'm showing you in case you guys are not aware. And so I put a piece of transfer tape on that has been like kind of de-stickied, so it's like an old piece, because I was afraid that the paint was going to come off of the vinyl. So it was a little bit to get off of the paper, and I'm sorry my head's in the way. So then I go ahead and layer it on top of this dark brown color, and I peel it off. And the dark brown is Oracle 651. It's a gloss as well. And I'm just going to take it off and place it on this cup just like a sticker. And so with this transfer tape though, you try not to put it on the paint because you don't want to peel the paint up. So if you want to err on the side of caution, you can put a layer of epoxy. But I didn't. I just was careful. And so now I didn't like the white edges around the sticker. So what I did was I came in with some brown alcohol ink. I think this is caramel, the color caramel. Just any medium brown that you want. And I took a Q-tip and just dabbed it around the white. So it's to make it look older. I thought the white was too stark given the color scheme of the cup. And so the alcohol ink was really doing exactly what I wanted it to do and just kind of take that starkness away and make it look a little bit older and a little bit more distressed. And then I'm going to let that dry for a couple hours and put my final coats of epoxy on. And so I don't show you that because I showed you epoxy in the cup in the beginning of the video or in the middle after I was done, letting the paint dry. So I'm not going to show you because I'm trying to keep this video down to a minimum so it doesn't take like forever, because like when I started editing this it was like an hour and a half. So we try to I try to keep these so that they're not ridiculous long, but it is going to be a little bit longer because I am doing 2 cups in one video. All right, so again, in an effort to save time, what I did was I glittered this cup, and I didn't show you. I'm sorry. I've glittered a ton of cups for you guys. Jump back on my channel if you're not sure how to glitter a cup. I applied it with Epoxy, and I will link them above the colors. And so I went in with a brown spray paint and then this green spray paint, and I'm gonna post them above too. And then I come in with the brown again. And so the brown deco art, and I'm going to go over this in the same way that I did when I was doing the first cup, only that, the brown is, instead of the brown being the base, the green is the base on this. And that's because we're going to be doing a peekaboo because I have glitter underneath it. And I wanted glitter on this cup for myself. So, because I love my glitter and I have to have it. So this is another way, again, with spray paint and then coming in with paint. And so I'm doing the exact same technique. It just kind of, the colors are a little bit reversed. So I am going to just put some iMovie music on, and you're just going to watch the process. Or if you want to skip through, you can. But I don't want to skip through because I want you to see exactly how the cup came out the way it did, through every step. All right, so here's some music. All right, so now that I've got that looking the way I want it to look, doing my, I did my layered like I did on the first cup, I'm going to come in and start rubbing off this paint. So I'm going to use 91% alcohol on a paper towel. And I like the paper towel because I like the texture of it. It helps pull the paint off. And so you got to give it a little bit of elbow grease, but once you start breaking through, then it, it's a little bit easier. And so I'm going to just do random spots around the cup. There's no rhyme or reason. I just want to make spots big enough so that you can see that glitter peeking through. It's going to give me that sparkle when the sun hits it. And so the only thing that I don't like when I'm doing this is that there is, so you see kind of that green, there's like a pretty heavy green circle or space around the open spot or the glitter spot. And so I'm going to come in later and show you how I'm going to fix that. But so, you know, it's kind of inevitable. You can't avoid that because the paint comes off easily with the acetone, especially the acrylic paint, like comes off super easy. So we'll fix that in a bit and I'll show you. But I'm just going to come in and, you know, I'll keep folding that paper towel until it gets too full. And then I'm going to get a new piece of paper towel. I do try coming in with Q-tips, and that didn't really work too well because the green and the brown paint are pretty thick. And so I really, you know, had to work it a little bit. They're like the gloss-based paint. So I find that the matte comes off easier, but I can't get my hands on any matte spray paints other than black and white. All right, so when you get to the point where you've got it off, but it seems like it's kind of smeared a little bit over the glitter, go ahead and take your 91% alcohol and just wipe it, and it will clean that right up. So I'm just going to show you doing one more spot in sort of sped up, but not like, you know, slow, real time, because it takes a little bit longer. And then once I am done showing you this spot, I am definitely going to hyper speed through it, because I think at this point you get the idea. You just got to rub off the spots that you want to in whatever shape that you want, you know, however big or however small that you want. Again, this is a matter of personal preference. This is no rhyme or reason. There isn't, you have to do it this way. It's how much you want to show or how little you want to show. You know, if you want a big spot, little spot, whatever, you want it to, you know, put a name doing this. I'm just being silly. Sorry, guys. So, all right. So I'm cleaning that up with the 91% alcohol to make sure that all the paint is off of that glitter or the epoxy over the glitter. And that is it. So I'm going to put some music on again, and then I will come back with the next steps. All right, so now that I've got all of it taken off that I want, I put my decal on, and I'm so sorry I didn't show you this again. Yeah, mess up number 2. And I printed this up on white water slide, no spray water slide paper, and so I did a video on this paper, so I'm going to link it above so that you can watch the Koala brand no spray white water slide paper. It is awesome because you don't have to seal it after you print it. So I printed it up on this, I cut it out, I put it on the cup as I do with any water slide, soaking it in water and then just, you know, sliding it on and letting it dry. And so it's drying right now. And so I'm coming in and taking my brown paint, my brown and my copper paint, and I'm going around that, all of the glitter spots that have a heavy greenish circle around it, or, you know, border. That's it. Border. That's the word I wanted. A border around it. And I'm going to just try to blend down and make that border smaller. I like the border around it. I just didn't want it so big. So I just take my paint and I make them smaller. And once I'm done going around all of the spaces around the entire cup, because I'm going to do every border, I don't like how thick they are, then I'm going to let that dry again, and then it will be ready for my name on there. I'm going to do my name, and I do brown and brown as the underneath, and I do a metallic red on top. And I don't show you doing that with mine because I showed you doing the other one. It's just, you know, cutting it out and placing it. There's, you know, nothing special about it. I wanted to focus on the patina tutorial rather than the decals. So I didn't show you that. There was no need to show you again. All right, so after this, I am going to put my final coats of epoxy on, and then I'll be ready for my final remarks. Oh, and just to let you know, this did take 2 final coats of epoxy, and I used 20 mLs each time. I used a fast set on the first layer and then my regular set that has a better UV protectant for my second layer. You can use whatever epoxy you want on this. So, you know, I'm not married to any one epoxy, so I do use CC DIY for the fast set. And then for my final coats, I use Super Clear, which I purchased from Amazon. And again, you know, use whatever your favorite epoxy is. And so I'm just going to put this on as I always do, making sure I get a nice even coat. I put it on with a gloved hand because I can feel for spots that are too dry or there's too much. Once I'm happy with how much is on there, I give it a torch with my kitchen torch to pop any bubbles. I come back 5 minutes later and do it again. All right, guys, these cups are done. I'm so excited. I really love the way they came out. So, you know, with these big old 25 ouncers, they're the 25 ounce duo skinny tumbler from Hug. I had to, when I put it on my turner, I did have to wrap my insert with a little like extra foam just to make sure that it was snug. So just be aware that these are a little bit bigger than your typical like 20 ounce skinnies. But, so I made this one, the glitter one, for myself. And this one goes to Trisha, who is the head of the Chicks with Power muscle car group, which is so much fun. So if you are into muscle cars or have a muscle car, go ahead and check it out. Chicks with Power, great group, women empowering. They have chapters in every state, so you won't be left out. So enough about that. So 2 different ways to do this. I did this with paint. I did this with spray paint and then paint over top of it. And I did sort of that, you know, peekaboo effect. This was the white no spray water slide. So I'm going to link that up here to my review that I did last week on this. I'm sorry, I was rushing through these cups and I didn't show you applying this, but if you're familiar with applying water slide, it's no different. You just don't have to spray it after you print it. A really, really cool product by Koala. I do have a discount code good until October 1st, so check that out again in that video up here. And this one was done with a sticker that Trisha had made for the club. And so I had purchased a couple of them and I put this on her cup. And so another little trick, if you want a specific color vinyl that you don't have, you can always take a matte white vinyl. I used Oracle 651 matte white, and I sanded it and spray painted it. So that's always an option if you don't have a color that you feel like is a good match. And I think that is it, guys, for this tutorial. Patina 2 ways. Tell me which one you like the best. I personally like the glitter because that's my thing. I love my glitter, but thank you all for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, share, comment. I love to hear your feedback. All of those things help my channel to grow. Trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. My daughter announced in another video a couple back that we were going to do a giveaway. So we're slowly climbing up there. It's probably going to be a while, but stick around because I'm just going to keep creating and keep bringing things out there for you guys. Don't forget to check out my Facebook group. It's a craft thing. My Instagram, I post all the things that I make that I don't do tutorials on, as well as GMI's Superstars group. Make sure you join that group and post fun things that you make with Glitter Makes It Glitter. Every Sunday there is a giveaway. If you win, you get a 3-pack of glitter, the glitter that is featured, or the glitter bundle that's featured for the month. So, all right, guys, I am out. I will see you all next time. Bye.